Another hazard in the cryo-EM lab is that of compressed gases. So here in the freezing room, you see we have a tank of compressed ethane. We also have this tank of compressed carbon dioxide and also a tank of a mixed gas of ethane and propane. And tanks of compressed gases pose at least a couple hazards. One hazard is that they become projectiles. For instance, if for some reason the valve were sheared off, like in an earthquake, the compressed gas would escape in one direction, propelling the tank in the other, and it becomes like a missile. And so that's why it's so important when you have compressed gases that they be well secured, both high on the tank and low on the tank. So here we have chains and they're locked in place to protect from earthquakes. And this tank of ethane and propane is solidly secured by this stand. The second hazard of compressed gases is that they develop a leak, and then the release of a large amount of a gas poses some other problem. For instance, with ethane, if this were to leak a lot of ethane into the room, ethane is explosive. So it's important to know the amounts that you're storing, and it's important to have ventilation in the room so that if there were a leak, the air would be exchanged and you would not build up a high concentration of ethane, or in the case of liquid nitrogen, the same is true. If a whole tank of liquid nitrogen leaked out quickly, then it could pose a breathing hazard because it would displace the oxygen. So it's important that the cryo-EM lab have good ventilation. Now in this freezing room, we also have this snorkel, and the purpose of the snorkel is to allow us to constantly ventilate a certain region. This is where we put our ethane cup, for instance, while we're preparing ethane, and this makes sure that the amount of ethane in the air in this vicinity is always very low because it's well ventilated.